morning. It is 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. Gone with the Wind. During the Civil War time period. Not a lot of flushing toilets, Civil War. There's your joke. Good morning. It's 22 minutes after 7 o'clock. Joining us in studio this morning from Oasis Computers, John is back with us. Morning, John.
Good morning.
How are you doing today?
Doing good. How's everybody?
Doing well, doing well. How's the new year for you? Been
so far, so good.
Good.
No complaints. Just keep it going.
Excellent. Well, for folks that don't know, John joins us each month, once a month, and talks tech with us. If you've never been to Oasis Computers or his business here, of course, he repairs, sells, helps any technology, computers and stuff, but also with networks and things like that too. And if you're looking for accessories to your to do some of your like cutting the cord and things like that, John can give you some advice and help you out with that kind of stuff.
I try to have the stuff that you can't find somewhere else.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and I don't know. Now, I don't know. When did you come to the United States? Just out of curiosity.
In 1984.
Okay, so you've been around long enough to understand, like, for people our generations here, like if you needed like electronic anything like weird dooflotchies, you just go to Radio Shack because like Radio Shack was on every corner. And they had those weird diodes or weird things in little baskets of stuff in the back corner. And since they've gone out, you don't have a lot of those places like that. But and yours isn't like that either. You just can't walk in through bins of stuff and go. I mean, you have them, but that's not.
We have some of that, not much. The main thing that we do have is some resistors. People keep fixing their car or something. They need resistors. So I got a bunch of those.
Okay. So if you're on the hunt for those.
On parts, not too much. We don't really repair boards, depending on what's wrong with it.
Sure.
Resoldering a bad connection or something, but not fixing a board or something. So we replace the whole board when we do.
Well, generally the juice isn't worth the squeeze on boards for the most part, right? If it's shot, it's shot. It's
for
not
me,
worth
no.
fixing.
You got to specialize in something like that. I mean, it would cost way too much if I mess with it.
Well, that's just it. It would cost probably more to fix that one than it is to build a new one outright or get a new one, basically.
And I don't have quite equipment to fix board level repair. I'm not really an electronics guy. I'm a computer guy.
Gotcha.
It makes a difference. And just like so many things, we're parts replacers, not parts fixers in that sense. Some parts we fix.
Sure. But you're trying to solve a computer problem. Like if a computer's not doing something that it's supposed to, you go to fix it.
Yeah, you got memory on board, that is replaceable. You got a hard drive in it. You got a processor in it. So we may determine memory is bad, and we replace the memory.
Your component,
like that.
replace components. Not. It's kind of like when I was in the military, I was a bomb loader. But part of my job as a bomb loader was to work on the weapon systems in the aircraft. And for those that have spent any time working aircraft or any really cars, anything like, they're very compartmentalized in the way that, they have like the weapon system. There's like the brains for it. It's a unit. You swap in, swap out. And with that stuff, it's quadruple redundant and everything else. So they got to swap in, swap out times 4. But
in a case like that, I imagine it goes back to the manufacturer, supplier, or a specialized
defense
repair
contractor,
contractor.
But every once in a while, when those components work right, and you can prove that, then you got to figure out what's wrong next. And usually it's wires connecting said components.
Yeah, same thing here.
And that's where it can get into the weeds a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you're really, in essence, you're putting on your Sherlock Holmes hat and your magnifier and going through hand by hand looking for a short or something out of ordinary there. So
you just got to narrow it down, and just till you find the problem. We do solder sometimes. Power jacks on the motherboard.
Okay.
That's something we can do. I've got a really hard time with soldering a HDMI port. There's too many wires in it. I don't have too small of equipment to fix that. We're not quite set up for that.
Speaking of that, because last time we talked to you back in December, we were talking about this new computer company and these laptops. How's that a month later been?
Sold the one that I brought in here.
Okay.
And ordered another one in. Sold it just this week.
So they're going in as quick as they come in. They're going out the door again.
Well, it's not quick, but then we're not massive sales anyway. But
Sure.
Yeah, people were very happy with it.
Good.
They understood the concept of repairability, that it's easy to take apart, that it's built better, and they were willing to pay a little extra for that.
When you said hard time swapping out HDMI, that's what it reminded me of. I was like, oh yeah, that's why we were talking about that laptop.
Man, pull it out.
You literally pull out the little dongle
in this
and slide
case,
it back
I
in.
didn't know. I don't know what people want in it, so I just ordered it with some of the replaceable. What do you call that? Units on the side for the USB port.
Yeah.
And but they needed 2 regular USB ports, what wasn't in that machine, so I just pulled one out of mine.
So
put
here
it
you
in
go.
there. Yeah, just works good.
Yeah, that's the beauty of those, and I love that. And I hope that company, kind of spreads
Well,
its
they're
wings a
moving
little
forward
bit.
because
Good.
the first 2 that I ordered, I had to wait for them to build it.
Yeah.
And this time when I reordered this, as a matter of fact, I ordered it yesterday. It was in stock and it shipped out. It's shipping out today.
Good.
So they're building up inventory. I guess they have some now.
They're starting to get
Right.
Well, that's good because if they succeed and they get big, then that's going to force the industry to march to their beat. If
There's already some word that what did I say? Dell or HP had built one that was kind of like it. So
Okay.
I don't know much details on that one.
well,
but
that's
they
good
were
for the
talking
consumer
about it.
at the
Yeah.
end of the day. Here, that's going to be all good, and that's why I was kind of this company here is kind of setting the table, saying, you know what, and if the public embraces it, buys it,
Right.
next thing you know, it's going to force, like you said, the Dells and
Right.
the Gateways and the HPs and everybody else to come out with their versions
Right.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we don't like is what Microsoft has been doing right now, coming out with Windows 11, at the end of last year. And then Windows 11 supposedly runs only on 8th generation Intel processors and newer. I'm not sure what the AMD exactly is, but only the newer processors. They're not really that old, what means that they need to be running Windows 10 on the older machines. And keep in mind, we run Windows 10 on like 15-year-old machines, still works. And that's been cut off now. And this time in history where we have COVID, a supply chain problem, I'm not sure if this was the best thing to do.
Timing
whatever.
was not the best.
And then there's a story to it, but I'm still trying to figure out what the deal is on it. So you cannot install Windows 11 on a older machine. When you have a machine and say, let me upgrade to 11 until you can't do it.
Yeah.
And then my experience has been that if you want to, so the machine has something on it, Windows 7, Windows 10, Windows whatever. You try to then install Windows 11 on that one. You can't, not upgrading, but reinstalling. You can't do it. It says you can't do it.
Wow.
So one day I had somebody bring in a machine and said, it doesn't work. We need to get this thing working. Can you figure out what's wrong with it? Well, put it on the bench and let's plug it in. Plugs in and it goes click, 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 click. Well, that's a bad hard drive immediately. You know that. And so, yeah, hard drive's bad. Let me see what you got. So it's a 7th generation machine, Intel processor. And it's like, well, what do you want in it? You want this 240 gigabyte solid state drive like we've been doing? Yeah, that's fine. Didn't need to be big, whatever. Put it in there, grab my installer for Windows, start installing it. Halfway through, it looks like Windows 11.
Ooh.
And it's like, what the hell? What? So anyway, I let it finish off. I double check. Yes, it is indeed Windows 11.
Oh.
What is kind of obvious because it looks different. And it's like, did I have this wrong or what? And why is it 11? I put 10 in it.
Yeah.
So I look at my installer. No, I grabbed the wrong one. I put 11 in it. So my mistake. Call a customer up because I said, customer, I screwed up. I got 11 on the machine, and I thought it wasn't supposed to run. It's the 7th generation, but we have heard some reports that some 7th generation will work it.
Okay.
And it's
But yours did not.
well, on mine, no. I couldn't get it on any of mine, whatever. This guy it happened to install. And I thought it was kind of weird. So I asked him, what do you want? Well, leave the 11 on it, I guess. You think it's okay? Well, it didn't tell me it couldn't install at all this time. And I have done about 4 of them, and I couldn't get it on there.
Okay.
So there's word that you can change the registry or something, some things, but
So
I don't do
some-
that.
Yeah, there's something in there.
I don't monkey with that
Well,
weird
that's when you
stuff.
get in dangerous territory.
So, yeah, you don't know. That's not. We like to have it work. We don't overclock really.
Yeah.
We make it reliable instead of faster or whatever.
Well, that's probably when you're getting into coding and stuff. When you're, when you're
Yeah,
starting into
I don't know.
tapping into that.
I rather it's just like a car. If you soup it up, you may wear it out faster.
Sure.
That type of deal.
Sure.
So anyway,
I've seen enough Tim the Toolman Taylor in the 80s there to know.
Yeah.
Too
Anyway,
much of a good thing.
I go on with my Windows install, and I go, that's weird, but everything works fine, no problem. As far as I know, it still works fine. So the same day somebody tries to sell me some old stuff, but it's cute, it's nice, it's still usable. He wanted some amount of money for it. Nah, I'll give you half of that. Play with it, see what it does. Okay. Got that in there. It's the same day I did the other machine I was just talking about.
So you're like, hey, let's give this a try.
Busy. It just got busy last week, Tuesday, really. But anyway, it wasn't busy, so I take the lid off the little machine, and it has, of course, a spinning drive in it. So I'm not going to do anything with that. Take it out, put a new drive in it.
Like a solid state?
And I go, now this Windows 11, it stopped me somewhere on the first ones that I did. Where exactly was that? Because, let me go over the steps and trace down what exactly happens. So I grab 11, start installing it. Now, this is a 4th generation processor.
Okay.
Pretty high-end one, but
still it's old.
Kind of old.
Yeah.
It works good when it's working. No reason to throw it out or
Sure.
whatever. But anyway, guess what? 11 installs without any problem.
Really?
And I go, what? It doesn't even tell you it doesn't install. Doesn't want to install, can't install, nothing whatsoever. You would never know it couldn't put it on it.
Huh.
So I grabbed one of mine that I had just redone because I replaced some of mine because they couldn't run 11, supposedly.
Right.
So I install Windows on that one. Well, it tells me pretty much right in the beginning, no, you can't install it on here. And I can get to the partition manager that's built into when you install Windows. You can wipe the drive clean or put it on a certain partition or whatever. You have that option. Couldn't get to that. Not on that machine.
Okay.
And it's like, guess what? Let me put the 10 installer on it. So all the work I'd done and setting the machine up, I wiped it all out. So I had a blank drive in there. Not a new one, but a blank one this time.
Okay.
Same as a new one. And put 11 on it. Guess what?
Worked?
Installs without any problem.
Interesting.
So then the funny part is, so the machine is up and running. 11 installs. I finish it off like I do on every machine. No problem. You supposedly are having problem with Windows updates. No problem whatsoever.
It did update
everything installed. No word that it can't run it. But there's a little program you can download to test your machine if it can run Windows 11.
Okay.
I download that. I find it. I download it. And I run it. And guess what it says? This machine cannot run Windows 11. While it's running Windows 11.
Yet here we sit.
Yes, I don't know what to think about Microsoft now.
So you think it's a racket? You think it's like they're trying to get people to buy?
I came up with the term of
computers?
the people that work there are very smart idiots.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the case. I don't quite understand what it is. Also, this word that Windows 10 and Windows 11 technically is pretty much the same.
Okay.
It looks different. So there's like a overlay that, what you see on the screen.
Sure.
You can change that. Stardock company makes overlays that make it look like Windows 7. I personally don't care for it, but if you want it to look like Windows 7, Stardock has a program that can do that.
Okay. So you want it to look old.
Right. So you're used to it. You can't, whatever.
Where the buttons are and everything.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's not too hard to do. And now I'm wondering if this will keep working in the future forever, just like a Windows 10, a Windows 7 can still be upgraded to Windows 10 or 11 now. It works too with the same product key. If you have a 7 product key, you can install Windows 10 or 11 with that.
And it'll.
And, that is supposed to be not been able to do for, last 5 years now? When Windows 10 came out, you had like a year and a half where you could upgrade for free.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can still do that today. It never changed.
Okay.
Now, if you ask anybody from Microsoft, they say, no, you can't do that no more. But if you do it, it works just fine.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if this is going to turn out the same way. You can do it, but not many people apparently do this in this fashion.
So basically, they're trying to get people to buy more computers.
That's
and
what
stuff.
it looks like. The bad thing, in my opinion, is they say that it's done for security. Now, keep in mind, I know that
Who's security?
General security for
Okay.
you and for, not getting infected and whatever, and,
Gotcha.
and helping with that kind of problem that we have. And the what was my point now? Windows 11, will it run in the future for forever like Windows 10 with its update does? No, you can't do it, but it does. Oh, my point was it's set for security reasons, right?
Right.
But if you don't know really if your machine would run Windows 11 or not, you don't know, but you've heard, it will tell you if you install it, you can't install it. And in most cases, if you have a machine, it wouldn't let you install it. But your drive goes bad in your machine, and you come to me and say, well, I don't want to spend too much money. What can I do? Well, you need a new hard drive. Well, you want a cheapo used spinning drive? I have several of them. Or just a new one, the 240 gigabyte for $60. Well, you pick up a drive, whichever one, and they say, how do I install this? Well, basically, you go online to Microsoft, you download your installer, and you put it on a jump drive, you stick it in the machine, and you follow the instructions. Can you handle that? And, some people can, and some people go, I have no idea.
Yeah.
But you're the
Where's
one
this thing go?
you're the one that goes, I think I can figure that out. I've done something like that. So you go home, have another computer, and you have a jump drive, and you go download that. It says Windows 11 download, and you download it, you put it on your jump drive, and you don't pay attention, 10, 11. You got what you need, right?
Right.
Now, you stick that in your machine, not knowing what it runs up. If it won't do it, it will tell you it's your thinking, right?
You would think, yeah.
Right. So you install that thing, and it loads Windows 11 up, even though your machine supposedly cannot run it. It will never tell you that it couldn't run on it. But it's done for security reasons. What?
What's security?
I mean, don't you check what you're installing on what equipment and then say, this equipment doesn't match our list of requirements?
You would think,
So, no, you can't install it. No, it doesn't do that at all. And some people claim that underlaying what you see, it's just about identical. The upgrade names are the same. Several programs still report as you're running Windows 10 when you run Windows 11. So it's weird, and I can't find any other answer on it. I haven't heard from anybody, or I look on the net, Google it, whatever. If anybody has same results and why, I can't find nothing.
Really?
The only thing comes up is that you can install Windows 11 on a Windows 10 machine if you modify the registry. There's some entries you can change, and then it will install. But you're not supposed to do that because in the future, you may not get updates anymore, is what the answer is that you get.
Okay.
But it's the same as 10, really. So are the updates the same for 10 as they are for 11? What?
Yeah, well, we got to get those.
Obviously, they've done it to make more money or something, sell more product, whatever. Even though product sales have been up over the last 2 years, everybody working from home had to buy something or need something, upgrade, whatever.
Yeah. But like you said earlier, the timing's bad because let's face it, if you need a new computer to run this new software, it's a lot harder to get a brand new computer right now than it was.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of thinking of. Now, keep in mind that your machines are not obsolete, but in 4 years.
Yeah.
Because Windows 10 is supported for 4 more years. And, on the end of making money from Microsoft or manufacturers from computers, that machine that we had in here, 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago now almost, that thing was at that point, 12 years old, I said? 12 years old or
that's about
something.
right. 10, 12
so,
years old.
and that's now, that must be 3 years ago. So that thing is now 15 years old, still runs Windows 10 without any problem.
Yeah.
And actually with the solid state drive in it, fairly decent, even at 15 years old. You may argue from a manufacturer point, that's too old. These folks need to buy a new one. And that's maybe why we have 11.
Sure.
Don't know.
Someone said, you haven't bought one in a while. You need a new one. No,
Okay,
no.
next experiment is going to be to put, I have an old one. It's from 2004? 2004, I think. Somebody dropped it off Monday. and say, here's some old stuff. It's good. Does it work? Oh, I think so. They're taking the hard drive out. So hook a drive up in it and see if it wants to load Windows 11 on an old machine like that. It's supposed to be not working at all.
Sure.
I got the feeling it will go on. But I'll let you know next
All right.
month.
Well, good deal. So
Keep listening, and I'll update you.
you're doing some computer science, some experiments in there. I mean, I like it, but
I can't find any, and nobody else has reported anything like it. So I'm not sure what the scoop is. Don't we care? Don't we? Is the people that know to do this say, well, I use my old machines and run Windows 11? Or are many people going like, hey, that Windows 11 is too new. I don't want to use it yet.
Sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't get
it. And this doesn't help the fact that it's confusing on what can run it, what can't, and if people just want something that's like, look, you want me to use your product? I can. This is what I got. Give it to me and let it plug in and go. That's what.
And if there's
want.
a good reason to make something obsolete because it's unsafe or
Sure.
whatever the reason, I'm all for that.
Sure.
You know, if your stuff don't work no more, the cell phone here.
Yeah.
You know, it gives you any hassle, any problems. Oh, by all means, buy another one. This thing that I got is now 4 years old.
Yeah.
4 years old, I think. Pixel 3 XL. I was going to buy the Pixel 6, and what I wanted was not in stock. So otherwise I would have ordered.
Okay.
And it took a week or two, and it still wasn't there, and the reports come out. I hate mine. This one don't work right. Mine's great. I have no problem whatsoever. So the tech guys from work with Leo Laporte.
Oh, yeah.
No. Those one, Paul Thurrott has bought an iPhone. He can't handle the Pixel 6. He says too unreliable.
Okay.
Mary Jo Foley on the other show, she says, it does okay, but it's awful heavy, and it has rounded corners, what I personally don't like. You know, where we can see what's on the side.
Yeah.
That type of thing. I don't like that. And
beveled glass or whatever it is.
What else was there? Oh, the fingerprint reader is having trouble. Now, again, Leo Laporte showed it on the show, and he just, every time it works. He said you have to hold a little longer, a little what. And Mary Jo Foley and Paul Thurrott both say, I sometimes it works, and then sometimes it don't work at all, and whatever. So altogether, I still have my Pixel 3 XL. I didn't upgrade.
It isn't broke, and you're working like a champ.
It's still what do you call that? Up to date.
Yeah.
The latest updates have gone in from Android, and I think it's going to be regarded obsolete next year.
Gotcha.
Well, then maybe it's reason to do. But this thing does everything I need to do. Why would I replace it?
Sure.
You know, we should have the option to let stuff run.
Yeah.
You know, unless it's, not cost effective no more or something.
Yeah, the only reason that people, I think, upgrade like this that much is literally keeping up with the Joneses. That's that mindset.
I think we've been seeing some changes in the world as to, do we need to do that?
I hope that changed the mindset a little bit.
People don't want to go to work because they don't get treated right or whatever is going on there.
Well, maybe, like people that grew up during the Depression.
Right.
That generation of people really took the value of getting the most life out of every single item. Your clothing, that's why if depending on your age, you've got a grandmother with 67 butter tubs under their cabinet in the kitchen. That because of that mindset right there. Maybe with this corona and all the world and supply and demand, maybe we'll get another generation of folks that'll have an appreciation.
I think we have changed our outlook on things.
Yeah.
All this need to have new, keep up with the Joneses, whatever. I think it's not so much there.
Yeah.
And
so maybe this will spawn a little of that where people be like, you know what? I shouldn't have to get a new phone every 2 years. I should be able to hold on to this for like 10 years.
Why in the heck do they make them out of something that makes it feel like a bar of soap?
Yeah. Something so expensive feels so fragile to me. It's like,
everybody puts a case on it just in case I drop it. Well, I don't because I have insurance. Don't drop it is the insurance.
Yeah.
Because it could cost me some money.
Well, I'm almost afraid not to. I feel like I better not take it out of the case ever, because I get that. It's just my mindset with these things.
My mindset is just when I've seen it, you get less careful when you have a case on it. Oh, I got a case on it, so it's protected.
Yeah.
Well, my mindset is I don't have a case on it, so be careful with it. Don't drop it.
That's a good. Well, although I ain't gonna lie, if I take it out of the case and try to use it, it doesn't feel right in my hand.
Yeah,
because
I
it's a
know.
lot thinner.
That's what my problem is. It doesn't feel right if there's a case on
Yeah,
it.
I feel like it's gonna slip out of my hand. It's not feeling right.
Right.
Here, so, but I just saw the time.
Yeah,
We
it's weird.
probably should wrap this up. But if you want to try to make something live a little longer, or if you want to learn more about technology that allows you to do that, or if you just have general questions about technology or need help with that, don't hesitate to reach out to John at Oasis.
If you want to
Computers.
run Windows 11 on your old machine that can't run it, I'll show you how.
Bring your old stuff and let's see how much some fun.
Right.
Let's do some more experiments.
The only thing that's unknown is what the future brings.
Sure.
Is that going to work in 2-3 years from now? I got the feeling it might. I got now 3 or 4 of those machines that were too old. I've all got them running with Windows 11, and they're hanging on the wall for some display, whatever, like you have here.
Yeah.
And we'll see what happens with those when they quit or don't quit. I've got the feeling they won't.
And I imagine those are better built computers than the ones you get now.
There's a little Nux that I have hanging on the wall.
Something a little more tougher construction.
Right.
Yeah. So, but come on by Oasis Computers. Morning hours, 8 till about.
Say from 8 till 12:30.
Okay.
I really like you to come in no later than 12:30. I do leave at 1, so we officially open from 8 till 1, but that gives us half an hour to handle, take in, or look at whatever you bring in.
Very good.
I do really need to leave at 1. I need to take care of somebody at the house. So
Gotcha. You got
that's
family
why.
commitments there at 1 o'clock every
Yeah,
day,
normally if you need to leave at 1, it doesn't matter if you leave 10 after 1 or whatever. For most people, it doesn't matter. In my case, that I'm running short on time, I need to get back there.
Gotcha. Very good.
That's
so
why.
A hard done at 1.
Right, and then the afternoon is to get your stuff fixed without interruption.
Sure. Or if you've got service calls or something like that.
Calls,
for a
whatever, all those
network or
kind of
something
things.
Yeah, absolutely.
It works.
Give the phone number if folks...
575-625-9141.
That's probably the best way to reach out and get a hold of John there. Call.
I do check my email, but it's been very busy, so I missed it for 2 days. I don't respond as quick to it. If there's anything in it that you do send, I'll get to it eventually. But just calling on the phone, and if I don't answer for whatever reason, leave a message. I will respond to it. No message left. I have to go on with work and do other things.
He's got 10 other things to take care of. And, of course, don't forget you can always come on by between hours there, right behind the Wool Bowl on Garden.
Garden, yes.
Yeah, I got it right this time.
If you keep in mind, right behind the Wool Bowl Stadium's parking lot, that's the street you need to be on.
Exactly. Yeah, you can actually see it from the Wool Bowl parking lot and everything out there. So the backside. But, so come on by, like I said, Monday through Friday, between 8 and really 12:30 there. And and if it's really simple stuff, he'll knock it out in the morning. Like if it's... You bring it in, and it's like,
but we
it's just
don't keep it so we can make more money.
Yeah.
We try to get the work out, and I don't have, by myself, I don't have much time to monkey around with it anyway. So if it's simple and it can be fixed within 15 minutes to half an hour, in general, you walk out the door working again.
Yeah.
Now, if it needs to take longer than that, I put it in line with what's ahead of you, and then you got to wait
make arrangements.
Right.
And depending on how messed up it is, he'll get it back to you. So. Very good. Well, John, as always, I imagine you got a stack of work waiting for you.
Yeah,
here,
right now I'm busy. So anxious to get back and get something done.
We'll let you get the work done. I appreciate the visit as always, and we'll see you next month here. And
very good.
I would love to say you're still busy with full of work to do. That's a good thing to have.
Probably will. I don't foresee it getting any less.
Awesome. Well, thank you, John. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. It is.